On the next train roll, MoMRail's mighty close to being in the black. But as the tracks turn south and west, will she be welcomed with open arms, or will she keep getting with Johnson?
By the power of MoMRails, I'm gonna tear up your town. So when those yellow lights get late, better find another way around. Train rolls on.
Folks, I know what you're thinking. What the hell are we doing in Waldo? I thought we already rode the spine line.
This train is bound for Gardner.
Well, I told you Johnson County was going to be kind of a tough nut to crack. A lot of those North Johnson folks didn't want us around, so we kind of had to finagle a little bit. We couldn't launch this thing out of Rosedale because of other complications, other plans, blah, 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 blah. We're in Johnson County now. We got it. We're here. This first stop was already a doozy. I still remember when they had trouble with people parking their own personal RVs in their driveways. Told them folks to take that stuff to lesser towns, quote unquote, and then the local alternative rock station had to parade around their streets with a bunch of RVs.
The next station is Prairie Village. Prairie Village is your next station. Exit here for the Corinth branch of the Johnson County Library and shopping and dining in historic Prairie Village. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
That's the thing, you start talking bad about your neighbors, the alt-rock community is going to get you. And it won't even take a curb stomping. We'll just parade around your streets and have an entire morning show, give you a little something to talk about. Now, of course, we had to go pretty much underground on this whole operation. I mean, I wasn't going to tear through all those McMansions. Those are some of my biggest donors.
This train is bound for Gardner.
But what kind of operation would MoMRail be if it just totally ignored the booming southwestern suburbs of this town? You already got Governor Laura Kelly's blessing. Hell, if there's any county that's going to end up giving me the old Johnson, it's Miami. Ain't like I'm trying to go to Fort Scott anyway. And all this talk about, east is east and west is west and ne'er shall the two meet. Well, now when it comes to Shawnee Mission West and Shawnee Mission East, I'm bringing them together, baby. MoMRail style. You're one stop away from each other. You want to pull pranks? They'll cost you $2 to hop on. I think this side of town can afford it.
The next station is Overland Park. Overland Park is your next station. Exit here for historic Overland Park and Overland Park City Hall. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
One kid that ain't going to be allowed on this train is Nick Rosalie. And if you know why, you know why.
The next station is Overland Park. Overland Park is your next station. Exit here for historic Overland Park and Overland Park City Hall. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
All right, you produce junkies, all you foodies out there. You dropped off at your farmer's market. Go get your groceries. Do whatever you got to do. I dropped you right off at the doorstep. These things will be running every 10 to 15 minutes, so don't you worry about a thing. It's underground and there aren't that many hills out here, so why not?
This train is bound for Gardner.
You know one scenario I could imagine? All those fruits and vegetables and all kinds of products that didn't sell at the market, all they gotta do is hop a train down the way to the Lenox Public Market. That is, if I went that far. I already had to take out some poor Church of the Nazarene that was in my way. Trying to fight them was already enough of an uphill battle. But at least here you can get all your business done while taking your tongue to the Middle East.
The next station is Lenexa. Lenexa is your next station. Exit here for Heaven Woods Park and shopping and dining around Lenexa City Center. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
Get you some acupuncture, sort out your marital problems, and chew it all out over some Zarda. Not a bad trip.
The next station is Lenexa. Lenexa is your next station. Exit here for Heaven Woods Park and shopping and dining around Lenexa City Center. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
Or you can go scream at Julie Sayers about how much you don't like MoMRail or how much you do. Or go bust open that apartment complex and bike on out to the back. Maybe you'll hit Hidden Woods Park. Go far enough north, you hit the Maplewood Waterfall. And the girl that told you to avoid waterfalls is dead already, so don't worry about it. Go.
This train is bound for Gardner.
Honestly, I wasn't sure what to call this next stop. I mean, is it Overland Park? Is it Olathe? Is it Lenexa? Is it some other sovereign nation I don't know about? Is it some other secret society hiding in an industrial park? All those old ponds up and down College Boulevard, all the workers that work there spend their lunch breaks fishing or something? Also took me a little while to figure out that PFLUMM spells flum. You know, PF, P is silent, like Pfeiffer, Michelle Pfeiffer, Mackay Pfeiffer. Glad that Grinders joint made its way out here. Anyone ever been there? They call it the Stonewall location. Shoot, that place gets packed enough, you might see some big names in that pizza parlor as well. Just like the original location down in Crossroads. And by the way, you can walk to that location from one of our stops along the Spine Line downtown. Just saying.
The next station is Lackman's. Lackman's is your next station. This is the transfer point for the College Boulevard to Red Bridge Connector. Exit here for Mill Creek Business Park, the Kansas City Automotive Museum, and the Olathe Station Shopping District. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
Yes, I know you can get there via streetcar, but we ain't talking about the streetcar right now. We're talking about MoMRail.
The next station is Lackman's. Lackman's is your next station. This is the transfer point for the College Boulevard to Red Bridge Connector. Exit here for Mill Creek Business Park, the Kansas City Automotive Museum, and the Olathe Station Shopping District. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
And how ironic I'm dropping you guys off at the Kansas City Automotive Museum. But it's kind of not, because you get to see all the cars that are worth a darn seeing, and we get enough of these cars that aren't worth a darn seeing off the road. These car enthusiasts might have a little bit more of the road to themselves.
This train is bound for Gardner.
Hell, maybe we could raise the speed limit to 80 or 90. Oh, who am I kidding? You know, we're trying to compete with the highway drive, and we're already barely scraping 80 miles an hour. Some stretches. Not to mention you got all these truckers that can't even go that fast. Maybe they got some governor that they're subject to or something because of the company. But hey, enough of those cars come off of that road. Might make more high-speed pursuits a thing too. How many of y'all ever watch Real Stories of the Highway Patrol back in the 90s? Won't be having to dodge much of that when you start riding MoMRail. Hell, you get there just as fast, and on your way there, you can go back and watch Real Stories of the Highway Patrol or all those other car chases on YouTube or whatever.
The next station is Olathe. Olathe is your next station. This is the transfer point to high-speed rail service to Kansas City, Ottawa, and Emporia, Kansas. Exit here for Frisco Lake, Olathe Medical Center, the South Gate Retail Center, and the trailhead of the Cedar Creek Trail. Thank you for riding.
It's like
MoMRail.
drama. TNT's got plenty of drama, but nobody wants to be wrapped up in that
nonsense. The next
nonsense.
station is Olathe. Olathe is your next station. This is the transfer point to high-speed rail service to Kansas City, Ottawa, and Emporia, Kansas. Exit here for Frisco Lake, Olathe Medical Center, the South Gate Retail Center, and the trailhead of the Cedar Creek Trail. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
Plus, if any drama breaks out here on the train, we got security guards. That's part of our running costs. That's part of our maintenance. I'll get to that later, but welcome to Olathe. Not Olath, not Olathe. I was talking to some dude in Wisconsin when I was building out this station. Well, jolly goodness, you're over there in Olath, Kansas, aren't you?
This train is bound for Gardner.
Now, those of you that still don't know how to pronounce Olathe correctly, think about this. You know, you bust your Poindexter. You're feeling hot, hot, hot. Ole, 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 ole. And then you get the word the, T-H-E. That's the, right? Now that T-H is a little harder. Instead of the, it's th. You get it? Ole, the. Say it with me. Ole, the. Ole, the. I just found this out about Aldi supermarkets when I was doing a project with them, long before I became a rail baron. You know how they set up all their markets and supermarkets nationwide? And they have all these divisions and so forth. You would think a division that's centered around the Kansas City area would be called Kansas City or Mid-Continent or whatever. No, they call it the Olathe Division. That division covers not only the Kansas City Metro, but mid-Missouri, on up to Omaha, Nebraska, back over to Topeka, Manhattan, down to freaking Springfield, for crying out loud. And all their stores are like OLA, insert number here. What, do they think Olathe is going to grow faster than the city of Kansas City itself? Are they really going to try and spread themselves out? Am I going to have to cover more territory in this town than just that one stop on MoMRail? Am I going to have to give Olathe its own tram line, just like may or may not do with Lee Summit? Everybody wave to the left over those poor souls on I-35. You're stuck in traffic. We are not. And yes, I ran right through Olathe Medical Center. I'm under it. Your surgery rooms and your operating rooms could handle a little bit of shake, rattle, and roll underneath anyway. Plus,
the next station is Gardner. Gardner is your next station. This is the end of the Southwest line. Exit here for the cities of Gardner and New Century. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
we're so far under, you won't even have to sing Carole King. Although if you start screwing up the operation...
The next station is Gardner. Gardner is your next station. This is the end of the Southwest line. Exit here for the cities of Gardner and New Century. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
I wasn't even going to go to this podunk town. But you know, yesterday's podunk could be tomorrow's suburb. Plus I catch all those New Century peeps along with me. Edgerton in the house? Yeah. MoMRail goes where the people is. I don't know, Edgerton, hell, you're one letter away from being a town full of bowl cuts and people that want to scream a "vote" and "cuh" all the time. Someday.
This train is bound for Waldo.
Yeah, eastbound and up, get on back to Waldo. You know, I had quite a time trying to train my voiceover how to pronounce Olathe. I even had to spell it wrong so that she'd say it right. Olaithuh. Hell, maybe I should have spelled Overland Park Overlund. Maybe she'd get it right. But hey, she was cheap, and I ain't got that much to spare on a $31 million loan I gotta pay off. And by the way, those of you wondering how much it cost me to run this particular line, although I gotta correct myself real quick, $31 million a month is what I gotta pay. The loan was $3 billion. Otherwise, my happy behind wouldn't even make it out of downtown. Hell, it cost me $31 million alone to build a tram line. Don't even get me started on those trains. But all right, let's go back to the Southwest line for a bit. So this thing all said and done, running costs, maintenance, and everything's costing me about $5.3 million to run. And the fares I'm getting out of this? $13.7. You take $13.7 and get rid of $5.3, I'm left with $8.4 per quarter. You divide that by 3, that's $2.8 million per month for serving Johnson County. And with all that I got running right now, with the $28 million I'm making with all those lines that I showed you, I am still just $200,000 short of making my monthly bill. Well, I got you to St. Joe, I got you to Lawrence, I got you to the east side, southeast side. I seriously thought Johnson County was going to put me up.
The next station is Olathe. Olathe is your next station. This is the transfer point to high-speed rail service to Kansas City, Ottawa, and Emporia, Kansas. Exit here for Frisco Lake, Olathe Medical Center, the Southgate Retail Center, and the trailhead of the Cedar Creek Trail. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
You know what ended up keeping me in this damn red? Gardner. The chicken's hatching, but it's still in the egg right now.
The next station is Olathe. Olathe is your next station. This is the transfer point to high-speed rail service to Kansas City, Ottawa, and Emporia, Kansas. Exit here for Frisco Lake, Olathe Medical Center, the Southgate Retail Center, and the trailhead of the Cedar Creek Trail. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
Here's the thing about this line here. I believe in the growth. As long as there's more that cry than croak, 'cause I'm a persistent bloke, I believe. And I believe the Sounds of Blackness are probably licking their chops to sue me. So that's where I stop.
This train is bound for Waldo.
Now, why on earth did I start this thing out in Waldo and not Rosedale? Well, first of all, I'm not going to be dealing with Fairway and Roland Park and Westwood and Eastwood and Rowe and Knoll City and whatever municipality they got in that little cluster that want to try and shut me down. Plus, I'm not going under Patrick Mahomes' house. And let's say I were to hit Merriam and I would have had to go all the way down to Lenexa. Then you miss Prairie Village. Then you miss downtown Overland Park. So on this line, it's going to take you $2 to just board this thing. You run from Waldo all the way out to Gardner, that's not even $10 if you count a quarter per kilometer. $12 ride to get you to Gardner, to the end of the line, and you don't have to do any of the driving. Get there in about 25 minutes. Shoot, it might be less for gas, but if you don't have a car...
The next station is Lackman's. Lackman's is your next station. This is the transfer point for the College Boulevard to Red Bridge Connector. Exit here for Mill Creek Business Park. the Kansas City Automotive Museum, and the Olathe Station Shopping District. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
And if you only need to get to Olathe, that's $3 less. A lot of work in Lackman's, that's cheaper too.
The next station is Lackman's. Lackman's is your next station. This is the transfer point for the College Boulevard to Red Bridge Connector. Exit here for Mill Creek Business Park, the Kansas City Automotive Museum, and the Olathe Station Shopping District. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
People be shopping, people be working, and you can now do all that in the same place. Exit left to go to work, exit right to get your stuff. And these trains run about every 10-15 minutes or so. So shop till you drop, or work till you drop. We're open 24 hours a day.
This train is bound for Waldo.
We're only open that long because I don't know how to put these damn trains on a depot. Where to put this thing, how to run this thing. Must consult the power of NIMBY Rails, or consult a few of my friends in the rail baron business. You know, I do a little networking. I didn't get this rich by living on an island. It's like all those poor souls on 435 right now. Look at them, all the little bitty islands, not moving much of anywhere. Because what, you didn't want to buy a set of headphones? You wanted to get there on your time until you found out you had to add 30 to 45 minutes to your time? But yeah, go ahead, build up those noise dividing walls or canceling walls or whatever you think that's going to do. What happens if your company doesn't do remote anymore? And you're still living out in the city? And I get some of it, all you FM radio fans out there. Signal's a little better in the car than it is on a Walkman. But now that MoMRail's got some free Wi-Fi, with that fare you pay every time you get in, you can stream every single station in this town on your phone. You can look at your phone. You can push all the buttons you want to. And when 2025 rolls around, you won't get a ticket for it.
The next station is Lenexa. Lenexa is your next station. Exit here for Head Woods Park and shopping and dining around Lenexa City Center. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
By the way, those of you that new to us that don't know what MoMRail stands for, M-O-M, middle of map.
The next station is Lenexa. Lenexa is your next station. Exit here for Head Woods Park and shopping and dining around Lenexa City Center. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
How many of y'all knew this town almost became the city of Bradshaw? Really, Bradshaw. Hell, Terry Bradshaw would have had a field day in this town every time the Chiefs would play on Channel 4. Funny enough, some other railroad purchased the right of way from this guy named C.A. Bradshaw under one condition.
This train is bound for Waldo.
And that condition was a railroad depot be built on the land. And almost 150 years later, I'm the one that fulfilled that promise. So anyway, this guy named Octave Chanute wanted to name it after C.A. Bradshaw. He was like, nah, don't mention me. I don't even want that fame. He wanted to name it after this chief that he was friends with, Thomas Blackhoof, or his wife at least. Name is Na-Nex C. And as you can see, Na-Nex C ended up being Lenexa, a mere stop along the Santa Fe Trail that ended up starting in Westport rather than Independence. So there you go, a little history lesson for you. See, this area is no stranger to railroads and trains. We just got a little work to do to kill the American dream of the 50s.
The next station is Overland Park. Overland Park is your next station. Exit here for historic Overland Park and Overland Park City Hall. Thank you for riding.
And by the way, this country was never meant to have just one dream. And I'm not even trying to serve 100% of the Kansas City metro area in the first place. Otherwise, I'd be tearing up every interstate highway, up and down, left and right, and around and around. You know how much it cost me to run on that elevated line? That's a whole nother episode.
This train is bound for Waldo.
Won't be long before this town breaks 200,000 people, and with the city of Kansas City sitting at 500K, shoot, that's like living in Aurora if you're living near Denver. That's like living in Oakland if you're living in the Bay Area. I'm surprised Overland Park doesn't have its own minor league teams. Turn the KCK Monarchs into the Overland Park Monarchs. And then what happens when Overland Park, especially downtown, starts building upward? Got all those office towers along 435. I'm already starting to see a bunch of complexes go up. That just means more passengers and more business for moi. Moi ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Those of y'all remember Dexter's Laboratory.
The next station is Prairie Village. Prairie Village is your next station. Exit here for the Corinth branch of the Johnson County Library and shopping and dining in historic Prairie Village. Thank you for riding MoMRail.
Lord, heaven forbid Prairie Village falls on hard times and ends up getting swallowed up by Overland Park.
The
Mercy
next
sakes.
station is Prairie Village. Prairie Village is your next station. Exit here for the Corinth branch of the Johnson County Library and shopping and dining in historic Prairie Village. Thank you for
Shoot, if
riding
this train ever
MoMRail.
needs maintenance and we don't have the parts on the train itself, all we gotta do is take an e-bike with a little basket down to the Ace Hardware nearby, and we be golden. This is probably one of the pricier stops I put on this line. All those cute little homes on 79th and Mission. Eminent domain only goes so far.
This train is bound for Waldo.
And you gotta compensate them, so sure enough don't come cheap. I keep talking about making the monthly payment with all these damn lines I'm running. But remember, I only got $3 billion to spend. One of those billion I used to pay off the first loan I started with. Not to mention having old Penny Post Oak Ferguson riding my tail, because I done tore up all her streets. I hope it wasn't for naught. I'm just trying to get folks around this growing town. Anyway, this penny lover's gonna walk on by back to the safe, humble confines of the show-me state of Missouri. At least here I can get my booze without too much
The
trouble.
next station is Waldo. Waldo is your next station. This is the end of the Southwest Line and the transfer point for the Kansas City Spine Line, South Metro Line, Southern Spine Line, and the Great Connector. Exit here for shopping and dining in the Waldo neighborhood.
Maybe with all this time to sit at the Waldo station, I could think about how to get myself back in the black with this piddly millions I got left. Wonder how many folks would take the train to the Starlight Theater.